was announced this week that UT will no longer be doing Vol calls on the radio. After 35 years, that show is now being mothballed, and it was announced that the coaches show on television that's been around, a staple for years and years and years, the Josh Heupel show, is also being discontinued. There has been a little bit of blowback from fans. Is this just a sign of the times that these shows are kind of going away? I mean, the coaches show, I grew up with that thing.
Yeah.
And they put it up opposite this show for a few years, and then they took it off. When my first thought when they moved it opposite me was, oh no, the coaches show. Then you get the ratings, it's like, oh, nobody watches the coaches show anymore. And it's no knock on the UT people. I know the people who did it, and they are incredibly talented. But it's just, we don't need, everybody sees every game on television now.
Yeah.
And we got highlights on our phones. We don't need to get up early the next morning to watch the coach break it down. So UT's going to be doing some new shows this year. Is it just a sign of the time that some of those shows were ready to go?
Yeah, it's a sign of the times, absolutely. Like for Vol calls, you can't, and as we do radio, you cannot take phone calls in radio and have a quality audience for the most part. I also think it's, with the coaches show, coaches don't say things anymore. Why would you, what, you're going to put the coach on and not say anything for half an hour? That's about the game that just happened?
The television show turned into a recruiting tool.
Right, exactly.
So that's part of it is, I don't think people are going to watch it. You can create new things that will probably engage the fan base better than either of these things. I hate it because college football is steeped in tradition, but this is probably a tradition that's run its course at the end of the day. And if you don't kill your old traditions, you become Texas A&M, and you never want to become Texas A&M.
Never go full Texas A&M.
What were you going to say? You got any thoughts on this?
No, all in the additions. Look, the one thing, the blowback we repeatedly heard Friday when we addressed this wasn't so much the content that the coach was delivering on the air, but from a Vol call standpoint, there were some fans that were a little disappointed. Now they will no longer be able to get their FaceTime, selfies, autograph football, just that kind of one-on-one that a lot of people appreciated.
You're further insulating your coach from the fans. I see that as the negative is that the shows are going away. And again, Mike Keith is going to be bringing up a lot of new shows. Don't say I ever did anything good for you, Mike. You know, there you go. But no, they don't deserve a lot of crap for killing these. They're bringing other stuff to the table that's more modern in terms of what works. But I will say, taking your coach away from FaceTime with fans, doing, even if it was just dropped to one phone call that they would take last year. It used to be call after call, and that can be dangerous, but now you don't have that. I do think there's a danger in if you put so much insulation around your coach, then it's easier to say fire that guy at the end of the day if he doesn't win a game.
Well, and some of what I read, John, said we're trying to put more content out there, a different type of content, but you're going to limit the access, right? That's really what it kind of comes back to me. The coaches show, you know, you lose an SEC game on the road at night, and then you're going to do a coaches show, and it's going to have anything really in there that you hadn't seen. You know, I mean, and a lot of it, like you said, was recruiting. It was a position coach. It was like the Tennessee assistant.
Well, and you'd see stories on the nutritionist and all that stuff.
Right. The thing is, it's like an offensive system that's gotten figured out, like the read option with Butch Jones. It's the right move to make the change. What are you going to fill it with? That's the thing, is don't miss, or it's going to end up being a problem. How do you replace it?
They're creating a lot of content, I know. Mike's behind that. Mike's a pretty sharp guy, you might have heard. One note, though, a little thing here talking about coaches' show since they're going away. This set right here, if you ever watched the old Johnny Major show, which I saw as a little kid, the old Johnny Major show was done right there, like right behind where Chuck is. He was over here. There's a famous one on YouTube where he bangs a shillelagh after Tennessee beat Notre Dame in 1979. That was basically right there. Where he banged that shillelagh sitting next to John Ward. And we've got a guy back here on staff who were you here at the time?
I was here.
Norm? We got a guy who's back here today with us who worked that show.